my name is Erica Rascon. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to work on a few quick exercises that you can do to help open your neck, chest, and shoulders. This will be super fast and they're really easy things that you can do at home with any props that you might have available. So I'll be using a yoga strap for this first exercise, but if you don't have a yoga strap, just grab hold of a belt, a necktie, or even a towel. You want something that's just at least as wide as your shoulders. So let's go ahead and take this strap or tie or whatever you might have, bring it so that it's about 4 or 5 inches outside of your shoulders. If you're using a belt or a strap, something with a buckle, just be sure that the buckle is close to your hands, so it's not flopping around. Once you have that strap in line, you want to pull it nice and tight, so pull your arms sort of apart from one another, and then use your inhalation to lift your arms up, nice and slow. You might notice your shoulders creep up to your ears. Try to relax the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Keep tension on your prop as you pull, pull, pull. And just notice if one side is favored more than the other. It happens in everyone's body. It's probably happening in mine right now. But that just means that you're generally pulling more on one side or you're more flexible in one shoulder. Just sort of notice without any judgment. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, straighten the arms to capacity, and then exhale and release the strap down. Now I want you to do the exact same thing, but pay attention to the space at your rib cage. Sometimes when we want to stretch the shoulders, we end up doing a back bend instead. That actually takes the stretch out of the shoulders. So we want to be very aware of that this time. Grab hold of your prop. Inhale to lengthen the arms up overhead, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then relax them down the back. Now I'm going to turn sideways. Notice if your ribs have come forward just to help you get the strap further back. That's not actually helping the shoulders very much. It feels good, but it's not really the greatest stretch for the shoulders. So what you want to do is take the strap beyond that point where you really feel a good stretch, maybe 70%. Tuck your rib cage in, right over your hips. Draw the muscles in that are right at the base of your rib cage. Draw the navel back towards your spine. Then see where the strap goes without you moving your chest. Take just 2 more breaths here. And then you can use an exhalation to release. Walk your hands in so that they're just about as wide as your shoulders. If you are already getting a fantastic stretch with your hands nice and wide, then work in that space. But if you do want a little more sensation, take the hands in and we're going to do the same thing. Inhale the arms up, drop the shoulders down the back, squeeze the base of the shoulder blades together, pull the strap apart, and just take a few breaths here. Drop the rib cage in line with your hips. Try to take a few deep breaths. If you feel that breathing is too difficult at this point, you might be too deep into the postures. Just bring your arms forward a little. Nice. Take the arms so that they're overhead, as much in line with your ears as you comfortably can. And then take your feet together. You can press firmly into both feet. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, take both of your arms off towards the left. Anchor down through your right hip and just create a lot of space along the right side. You can actively pull down with your left arm. Give yourself a little bit of resistance and traction. And again, watch out for that back bending motion. Try to keep your ribs right over your hips. Inhale to come up. Exhale, other side. Press down, this time through your left foot. Pull down with your right arm. And then inhale to come up. Exhale, release the strap. Nice. You can set the strap aside for a moment. Just sort of shake out the shoulders. Make your arms into loose noodles and just kind of let them flap from side to side. Now that was a nice little warm up for the shoulder space. And the next exercise that we'll do will help to release the muscles between the neck and the shoulders so that you can get even more softness and relaxation here. So if you can, take your arms behind you, bind your hands so that your fingertips are interlaced all the way to the webbing. From there, squeeze your shoulder blades and your elbows together. Drop the ribs, minimize the back bend. If this is enough of a stretch for you right here, then we'll work in this space. Maybe you drop your chin, take the stretch to the back of the neck. Maybe just do little circles with the head and just sort of feel what's going on in both sides of the neck. If you do want a little bit more sensation, I invite you to take option 2, which is to bring both of your bound hands towards the outside of your right hip. It's okay if your hands don't completely hook around. You just want to bring both of your hands in that direction. You're then going to drop down through your right shoulder, pull the right shoulder back behind you, and then take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Try not to bring the shoulder up to meet the ear. Maybe you tuck the shin, maybe you just rock the head back and forth until you find just the right stretch. There it is right there for me. Keep dropping the shoulders down the back. Let the head feel really heavy as it hangs. And then inhale to take your head up, and we're going to change sides. So your hands come towards your left hip or the left side of your body. Draw the left elbow back, both shoulders rest down the back. And then this time, right ear goes to right shoulder. You may notice that one side feels a lot more sensation than the other, and that's completely normal. It's based on how we sit, how we drive, how we type. The side of our body that's considered most dominant or the one that we use most often. Just observe those differences with neutrality, right? It's not good, it's not bad, it's just how it is. Nice, one more breath here. And then use your inhalation to bring your head up. Release the bind of the hands and just flick your hands as if you're getting water off of your fingertips. And then maybe shrug through the shoulders. Nice. All right, chest opener. So the neck has been open. We've worked on the tops and the backs of the shoulders just a little. Now we're gonna actually open up that chest space. We've been resisting the back bend so much. This is a great opportunity to really take it with us. So I invite you to take your feet so that they're parallel to one another with your middle toes pointing forward, and then just step back slightly with one foot, maybe 1 to 2 feet. You can put a little bend into that front leg. For those of you who are familiar with yoga, this is just kind of a lazy man's warrior one stance. But I find that it really can help us to open the chest into this back bend. So you want to take your elbows in line with your shoulders with your palms facing forward, and then start to squeeze your shoulders together behind you. This time, let the ribs open. Let your sternum come up towards the ceiling. Place most of your weight into that back foot. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Draw the elbows together as if they could actually touch behind you. And take just a few breaths here. If the breath feels too difficult, maybe come out of the back bend a little. If you want more sensation, you can enhance the back bend by bending into the front knee a little. Final breath here. And then use an inhalation to come out of the back bend. Step your feet forward and together. I'll just turn around so that you can see. And we're going to aim to bring the elbows and the wrists together. Let the forearms touch. You might start to feel this stretch along the opposite side of your shoulders now towards the back and the tops. Just take a few breaths. If you find that your bust is in the way and it's difficult to bring your elbows together, maybe try taking your hands a little higher. Press, press, press into the hands. One more breath. Exhale, release. Nice. So we've gotten the directions of our shoulders going. One more for the triceps. So there's a few variations that you can take on this. I'll demonstrate too. You can start off just by taking your left arm out to the side with your thumb facing up. Bend into that elbow, and then start to point your elbow up towards the ceiling. Now you can reach for the base of your neck, the base of your shoulders, and just work here if this feels good. If you want just a little bit more, maybe you take the opposite hand and use that to draw the elbow towards the center of the body. If this is good for you, this is option one, and I encourage you to work here. If you want a little bit more sensation, then perhaps you go for what we call Gomukhasana arms when we're in yoga class. That is a reverse bind behind the back. So you'll take the opposite hand, point the thumb down, bend the elbow, and then try to take hold of your hands behind your body. It looks something like that. If the bind doesn't happen, guess what? You have that strap. So you can use the strap or the tie or the towel or whatever prop you had before. Let the strap serve as a connector. It's actually a little harder with the strap for me because I can't feel what edge I'm using. Like that. But wherever you are, you want to aim to get the elbow towards the center of the body. Press your head back into your forearm. Try to keep the spine long and just take 2 more breaths. I know you've been holding this through all the variations. And then exhale to release. And just pause and notice the difference in both of your arms. Maybe your left arm feels really long right now. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So this time we're going to take the right arm up, thumb up, bend into the elbow, take your elbow to the ceiling. And then this time we will do either the reverse bind or the top end, whatever worked best for you. And just know that, maybe the side of the body is a little bit different. So you need a different bind on the side, and that's okay. Press the head back. Lift the chin so that it is parallel to the floor. Notice if you are leaning towards one side or the other, or if you're hunched forward. Focus on a long, regal spine. Nice. Take 2 more full breaths. And now use an exhalation to release. We're going to take a back bend again, this time with the opposite foot placement. So bring the feet towards the center of your mat, middle toes facing forward. This time it is your left foot that goes back. Keep both of your hips facing forward. Back foot is angled out slightly, like 45 degrees or so. This time we're going to take both of the hands behind the low back, interlace your fingers so that the webbings of your fingers touch. Elbows draw together. Start to straighten the arms to capacity. They might be straight, they might be bent, that's okay. Just keep squeezing them towards one another. And then lift the heart. Only back bend so much as you can breathe comfortably. Once the breath feels shallow or forced, it means you may have taken it a little bit too far in the back bend, and just allow yourself to come out. Keep lifting the hands away from the low back. Take the gaze forward, step forward, and release. Excellent. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this mini practice. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Namaste.